Monkey D. Luffy wants to become king of the pirates. The only problem? He can't swim. But he's gathered a crew. And together, they'll seek the legendary treasure of Gold Roger. Things are gonna get a little strange along the way. Who is that rubber boy? One Piece.
What's up, everybody? So I said I was gonna put this out early, but I lied. Sorry about that. We are finishing off the big three by doing One Piece, all right? And this is going to be my top 5 favorite moments. Again, these are my favorite, not the best. So these are the moments I go back to when I feel like watching this or enjoying some part of this series. That being said, we're going to spoilers up to Wano and in terms of the scenes. I won't say anything past that. I might allude to stuff, but that's about it. So yeah, again, if you're not caught up to at least Wano, then this probably isn't the video for you, unless you don't care. And you'll find out eventually, all right? But we're gonna go right into number 5.
Thank you. For loving me.
The death of Ace, man. So I think I knew that this was coming before it actually did. I just didn't know how it happened. But first things first, fuck Garp. I don't care what anyone says. The fact that he didn't save his or at least try to save his grandson, will never sit right with me. And I know some people are like, oh, he's part of the Navy and Ace is a pirate, yada yada. Who cares? All right, that is your grandson. All right, you should be fighting tooth and nail to save your boy. And especially because if you know where the series goes, you know who he is willing to fight and potentially die for. So it's like, seriously, you must not love your grandson that much. I said it. So fuck Garp. You know, him, Ace, actually dying is just like, oh man, we came all this way. We came all this way, dude. And you died. It's crazy. And I think it's so crazy and sad that the fact of all these people came to save him. So many people care about him. And, you know, in his final moments, he's, you know, holding his brother, or Luffy's holding him. And he's just like, you know, thank you for loving me. It's like, there's so many people that love you and they're all right there. And he's just like, you know, the fact that he would have to that he feels the need to be like, thank you for, you know, loving me. And the fact that he feels like he's not worth it in his dying moments. It's just like, oh my God. And then having Luffy just like snap like that to the fact that like people got to save him because he's just like, he went into full shock. It's just like, oh, it's crazy to never see. Like, you don't see Luffy like that. So for this moment to happen, it's just like, oh my God, this is all just like, so much is going on. Yeah, so I it's sad, but I go back to it because it's just like, it just has so much going on. It's so crazy, you know, the way everything went down. But, you know, it ain't called war for nothing. So it is what it is.
I know you always treated me with love. Thank you. Even if the time we spent together was short, I'm glad that I could spend it with you.
Continuing the sad train, Mary. Come on, we didn't get nowhere without her. Shout out to Mary, day one, big shit, big winner. You know, this is one of those things of like, where anime sets things up and then never goes back to it. But the fact that like, oh, if you love something enough, it has like a soul. So for, you know, Mary to like have a soul, and there's that moment of Skypiea where it's alluded to like her fixing herself or something like that. You know, for her to come through one last time and, you know, save him and be like, thank you for, you know, choosing me to be your ship. Again, another Ace moment, just like, oh my God, like, you're thanking me, but, you know, you're the one that saved us. It's just like, everyone's crying, she's dying. It's just like, oh my god, it's so much. Shout out to Mary, you know what I mean? Where would we be without her? Not too much to say, you know, without Tarina, but you know, it's crazy that an anime would have me feel some type of way about a ship. But yeah, shout out Mary. It's only at the bottom of the list because, you know, sad stuff, but it had to be in the top 5. I mean, come on, we wouldn't be nowhere without her. I mean, come on. Classic shot. I feel like this is one of those moments of like, this is when people say like, oh, this is the thing that got me into One Piece. This is like, I constantly go back to this, just like Nami putting all of her sweat and tears and everything she has into getting this money, thinking like, oh, we're gonna get out of here, I'm gonna get away from Arlong, like everything will go back to normal, just to find out like, psych, I stole your money, like you're gonna start all over again, thanks for trying though. And her being so sad and just like stabbing, you know, the Arlong tattoo and being like, fuck you Arlong, like, well, she didn't say that, but you know what I mean, you know, she's like, you know, screaming, crying, hurting herself, and Luffy's like, hey, relax, take my hat, I'm gonna handle this. And her to remember of like, the hat's so important to him, like he wouldn't give it to you unless he really means business. And then for him to like, you know, scream like, I'm coming for you Arlong, and then you just get that shot of like, boom, and all the boys are there, and it's just like, all right, let's go handle business. It's like, come on, dude. And that's why, like, when I was watching the live action version with my uncle, I was like, oh man, like they did it, but it just didn't hit the same way that it did in the anime. Not to throw shade on the live action, but I feel like, you know, this is the scene that so many people will get to, and they're just like, oh, like this is, you know, one of the things that got them into One Piece. So I was like, yo, this scene hits. It still hits now. I every once in a while I'll go back to it. It's definitely like one of my favorite like anime moments of like all time. So yeah, shout out to this shot. It's just so cool of all of them just like waiting there, and then they're like, all right, let's go get things done.
Dragon Damnation! Extra large Imperial Flaming Wings!
Zoro is potentially my favorite anime character of all time. So I mean, we get to Wano, the budget is budgeting, like we're getting impact frames or whatever you want to call them in between like everything. So him fighting King, and it's just like this grand epic moment. It feels like, you know, it brings me back to a kid when it's like Goku versus Vegeta that first time with the beam battle or whatever it's called, which is like, oh my god, and just the two of them clashing, and it's just like this spectacle of color, and it's just like, oh, it's hype, the music is going, like, and again, with Zoro being my favorite character, I'm like, yo, this is everything I've asked for and I didn't know I wanted at the same time. Yeah, him versus King and that like final moment of just like, feels so grand, even though it isn't even like the final battle, it's just the final battle between them. Top notch stuff.
If I'm allowed to say my wish just this once, then I want to live! Take me with you! Take me away from here!
And we wrap back around to a sad moment, but this is the #1 moment I go back to in One Piece, even though it is so sad. Robin, we met her, she wanted to die in the cave. Luffy was like, come with me, let me, you know, take you on this adventure, maybe we'll figure out what you were trying to figure out and find, you know, that the gap year, and or the gap, or whatever it's called, you know what I'm talking about. And you know, for her to sacrifice herself, and she's like, you guys don't get it, you know, my entire island was blown up. You get the whole backstory. You know, the giant freezing to death in his final moments. He's like, you know, it's gonna be rough out there, but you're gonna find people that really care about you, so just keep going. And you know, they are there to get Robin. He's like, don't you understand? Like, I work for the government. He's like, burn that flag down. Burns it down. He's like, don't you understand? You just declared war on the entire government. He's like, who gives a fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Robin, tell me that you want to live. You never said it. And again, I didn't realize this until making this video. So much of One Piece is like, you know, people kind of not seeing how much they mean to other people. And she's like, if I can just this one time say my wish. And she's like, I want to live. Take me away from here, please. And it cuts to all of her friends just being there. And again, going back to, you know, he's like, just keep going and you're gonna meet people that care about you so much. And it's just like, oh, this is One Piece, baby. This is the Straw Hat crew. Like, we're literally fighting in the government for, you know, a girl we've met what, a month ago maybe. Like, but she's so integral to the team. It's like, no, like, we're willing to die for one of our people. Like, do you not understand? The fact that, like, you understand once you see her backstory, like, why she's so devastated of, like, my people were decimated. Like, you can't find the island that I used to live on. It's not on the map. And like, if you haven't heard about it before, you'd probably never know it ever existed. Like, I don't want you guys to get hurt. And for her to just be like, I don't want to, like, I'd rather just go to jail and, you know, see anything happen to you guys. And for them to be like, no, we're going to get you. Like, you're one of us, like, ride or die. Okay. So yeah, I constantly go back to this. It makes me tear up every single time, even though I know what's going to happen. There's just so much emotion and so much of, like, what it means to be part of the Straw Hat crew and why, you know, you love all of them. And, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just everything. It's just everything. So those are my top 5 favorite moments of One Piece. There's so many, like, fights and, like, little moments, you know, of you know, why you love the crew or why you love, like, side characters and you know, everything that they've been through. Pedro blowing himself up, shout out to Pedro. You know, Luffy fighting Usopp over the boat just because it's like, it's so devastating for him to kind of be like, oh my god, like, we have to get rid of Mary. Like, no, I'll die I'll die before I let that happen. You know, that sad moment where, like, they beat up Usopp and take all the money and he's like, please don't tell them that I lost it, I'm so sorry. And there's so many good moments, but again, these are just, like, the top 5 that come into my mind of when I feel like going back to One Piece. So let me know what one of your favorite moments down is below. Again, it's so many and series is still going, so, you know, you got plenty of scenes that could pop up in the future as your favorite. But for now, let me know what one of them is down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, peace.